The salvage genius. The recycling conveyor belt groaned under the weight of discarded alien technology as Maya Chen sorted through another day's haul at Orbital Station Epsilon. Her worn gloves carefully examined each piece, searching for the hidden potential that others couldn't see. The Neridian supervisor watched her with mild amusement, his crystalline form reflecting the harsh industrial lights. "Human Chen," he chimed, his voice like wind through glass. "You spend too much time with garbage. These components are beyond repair." Maya smiled without looking up. "One being's trash is another's treasure, Supervisor Crix." She pulled a twisted piece of Vulcan circuitry from the pile, her trained eye spotting the intact quantum resonators beneath the damaged casing. The truth was, Maya had been collecting these discarded pieces for months. While the Galactic Union saw humans as newcomers barely worthy of basic membership, she saw opportunity in their technological cast-offs. The aliens had grown complacent with their standardized designs, throwing away anything that didn't fit their rigid specifications. During her lunch break, Maya retreated to her private quarters and unsealed the hidden compartment behind her bunk. Inside lay her true workspace, a carefully organized collection of salvaged components from a dozen different species. She added the Vulcan circuitry to her growing inventory, her mind already racing with possibilities. Her datapad chimed with an incoming message. Maya's heart sank as she read the official Galactic Union communique. The Advanced Technology Access Treaty was being revised, and preliminary reports suggested humans would be relegated to observer status, effectively cutting them off from any meaningful technological exchange. "They think we're not ready," Maya muttered, clenching her fists. "They think we can't understand their precious technology." That evening, Maya attended the mandatory station briefing. Ambassador Thrain, the Galactic Union representative, stood at the podium. His elongated blue form towered over the assembled workers as he delivered the news. "The Council has determined that certain species require additional evaluation before accessing Level 3 technologies," Thrain announced, his voice carrying the weight of bureaucratic finality. "This decision ensures the safety and stability of all Union members." Maya noticed how Thrain's gaze lingered on the human section of the audience. The message was clear. Humanity was being left behind. Back at her workstation the next day, Maya's frustration fueled a breakthrough. As she examined a discarded Zelthran power core, she noticed something the original designers had missed. The core's harmonic frequency could be modified to interface with completely different systems. It was elegant, beautiful, and completely outside standard alien engineering doctrine. "You're wasting your time with that junk," commented Vex, a four-armed Krellin engineer passing by. "Zelthran cores are incompatible with everything except Zelthran ships." Maya looked up, her eyes bright with discovery. "That's what they want you to think. But what if compatibility isn't about matching parts? It's about understanding the underlying principles." Vex laughed, a sound like crackling electricity. "Humans and their wild theories. Stick to basic maintenance, Chen. Leave the real engineering to species who've been in space for millennia." That night, Maya made her decision. If the Galactic Union wouldn't give humans access to advanced technology, she would build it herself. She began searching the station's database for abandoned sections, eventually finding what she needed. Cargo Bay 17, decommissioned after a radiation leak decades ago. The bay was perfect. Isolated, forgotten, and with enough space to hide a significant project. Maya spent her off hours cleaning the area, setting up basic life support, and installing security measures to mask her activities from station sensors. Over the next few weeks, Maya's secret workshop took shape. She worked tirelessly, using her salvage privileges to acquire components that others had discarded. Her breakthrough with the Zelthran core led to other discoveries, ways to make thorium processors communicate with Vulcan sensors, methods to integrate Krellin power distribution with human computing architecture. Her first major test came when she attempted to combine 3 different propulsion technologies. According to every engineering manual in the galaxy, what she was attempting was impossible. The energy signatures were incompatible, the material stresses would tear any ship apart, and the control systems would conflict catastrophically. Maya stood before her makeshift test rig, heart pounding. "Here goes nothing," she whispered, activating the hybrid system. The workshop filled with a low hum that gradually rose in pitch. Energy readings fluctuated wildly before suddenly stabilizing. Maya stared at her instruments in disbelief. The system was working, not just functioning, but operating at efficiency levels that exceeded anything in the Galactic Union database. A noise at the entrance made her spin around. Standing in the doorway was Supervisor Crix, his crystalline form pulsing with surprise. What is this?" he demanded, his musical voice hitting discordant notes. Maya's mind raced. She could lie, claimed it was a personal project with no significance, but something in Crix's expression, curiosity rather than anger, made her decide on honesty. "This is what happens when you stop thinking inside the box," Maya said, gesturing to her creation. "Every species in the Union follows the same design principles, the same limitations. But what if those limitations are self-imposed?" Crix moved closer, examining the hybrid system. "This shouldn't work. The harmonic interference alone should cause a cascade failure." "It would if I was following standard integration protocols," Maya explained. "But I'm not trying to force these systems to work together. I'm letting them find their own balance." The Neridian supervisor was silent for a long moment. "You realize what you're doing could be seen as problematic. The Union has strict regulations about unauthorized technological development." Maya met his gaze steadily. "The Union is about to cut humanity off from advanced technology. They think we're not ready, that we can't understand. I'm proving them wrong." To her surprise, Crix's crystalline structure shifted to a softer hue, the Neridian equivalent of a smile. "I always thought human persistence was remarkable." "Very well, Chen. I saw nothing here tonight. But be careful. Not everyone will be as understanding." As Crix left, Maya turned back to her work with renewed determination. She had a ship to build, and now she knew she wasn't entirely alone. The real challenge was just beginning. Over the following months, Maya's project grew in scope and ambition. She worked in secret, spending every spare moment in Cargo Bay 17. Her design philosophy was radically different from anything in the Galactic Union, where alien engineers sought perfection through standardization. Maya embraced adaptability and integration. She created modular systems that could reconfigure themselves based on need. Her power distribution network was inspired by human neural networks, capable of rerouting energy flows instantaneously. The ship's frame used a combination of materials that conventional wisdom said were incompatible, yet together they created a structure both lighter and stronger than standard designs. As word of the Advanced Technology Access Treaty's finalization spread through the station, Maya worked with increasing urgency. She knew that once the treaty was signed, her access to even basic components would be severely restricted. Late one night, as she was calibrating a sensor array made from components of 7 different species, Maya realized something profound. The aliens' technological superiority had made them rigid, unable to see beyond their established paradigms. Their very advancement had become their limitation. Humans, coming late to the galactic stage, had no such preconceptions. They could see possibilities where others saw only impossibilities. Maya stepped back and looked at her creation taking shape in the dim light of Cargo Bay 17. It wasn't pretty by Galactic Union standards, a patchwork of different technologies and design philosophies. But it was beautiful to her, because it represented something the aliens had forgotten: the power of innovation born from necessity. She ran her hand along the ship's incomplete hull, feeling the subtle vibrations of systems that shouldn't work together, yet did. "They think we're not ready," she whispered to her creation. "Let's show them how wrong they are." The first major component was complete, a propulsion system that defied everything the Galactic Union knew about faster-than-light travel. Tomorrow, she would begin work on the navigation systems. Time was running out, But Maya Chen was just getting started. Her journey from overlooked engineer to revolutionary innovator had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. Impossible geometries. The equations floated in holographic display above Maya's workbench, their elegant curves defying conventional mathematics. She had been struggling with the navigation system for weeks, trying to reconcile the different spatial frameworks used by various alien species. The Thorians used 7-dimensional calculations, the Vulcans preferred quantum probability matrices, and the Krellans relied on gravimetric resonance patterns. "This is impossible," Maya muttered, rubbing her tired eyes. "No wonder the Union keeps everything standardized. Trying to make these systems talk to each other is like teaching a fish to breathe air." A gentle chime announced a visitor at the cargo bay entrance. Maya quickly shut down the displays and activated her security protocols. The door slid open to reveal an unexpected guest, Dr. Violet, a Thorian mathematician who worked in the station's research division. The Thorian's elongated head tilted curiously as he entered. His skin, a deep purple that shifted with his emotions, currently displayed patterns of intense interest. "Engineer Chen," he said, his voice resonating with harmonic undertones, "I believe we need to talk." Maya tensed, ready to defend her project. But Violet raised a slender hand in a peaceful gesture. "I've been monitoring unusual energy signatures from this sector. At first, I thought they were anomalies, but the patterns are too consistent to be random." "I don't know what you're talking about," Maya began, but Violet interrupted. "Please, let us dispense with pretense. I've run the calculations. What you're attempting here should be mathematically impossible." His skin shifted to a lighter shade of curiosity. "Yet somehow, you're making it work." Maya studied the Thorian carefully. "Why haven't you reported this?" Violet's patterns shifted to something Maya had never seen before, a complex swirl of colors that seemed almost rebellious. "Because I'm tired of the Union's dogma. For 3,000 years, my people have insisted that our mathematical models are perfect, complete. But your work," he gestured around the bay, "your work suggests otherwise." Slowly, Maya reactivated the holographic displays. Violet approached them with reverence, his elongated fingers tracing the impossible equations. "Fascinating," he whispered. "You're not trying to force compatibility. You're finding the hidden connections between different mathematical frameworks." "Exactly," Maya exclaimed, relief flooding through her. Finally, someone who understood. Every species developed their technology in isolation, creating their own systems of understanding. But underneath it all, the universe operates on consistent principles. We just need to find the common language. Violet's patterns brightened with excitement. "Show me everything." Over the next few hours, Maya shared her work with the Thorian mathematician. She showed him how she had created adaptive algorithms that could translate between different navigational frameworks in real time, how she had developed a propulsion system that used the contradictions between different physical theories to generate incredible power. "This is brilliant," Violet said, his skin now displaying patterns of awe. "But you're missing something crucial. The quantum field harmonics need to account for dimensional drift." Maya frowned. "Dimensional drift? That's not in any of the documentation I've accessed." "Of course not," Violet replied. "The Union classifies such information as Level 5, far beyond what humans are permitted to know. But if you're going to make this work, you need to understand the true nature of hyperspace." For the next several weeks, Violet became Maya's secret collaborator. His advanced mathematical knowledge, combined with her innovative engineering approach, led to breakthrough after breakthrough. They developed a navigation system that could plot courses through hyperspace using a hybrid of different alien technologies, achieving efficiency levels that should have been impossible. But their work didn't go unnoticed. One morning, Maya arrived at the station to find increased security patrols. Commander Vrax, the station's Zelthran security chief, was personally overseeing the operations. "Random security sweep," Vrax announced, his 4 eyes scanning the crowd. "All personnel are to submit to quarters inspection." Maya's heart raced. If they found Cargo Bay 17, everything would be over. She needed to act fast. Racing to her quarters, she activated her emergency protocols. A virus she had prepared months ago began spreading through the station's systems, creating false sensor readings and redirecting security patrols away from her workspace. But Vrax was thorough. By midday, his teams had covered most of the station. Maya watched the security feeds with growing anxiety as they approached her sector. "They're getting close," Violet warned through their secure channel. "What's your contingency plan?" Maya took a deep breath. "We accelerate the timeline. The ship isn't complete, but the core systems are functional. If we can get her space-worthy in the next 48 hours. "That's impossible," Violet protested. "The field harmonics alone need weeks of calibration." "Then we make the impossible possible," Maya replied. "Isn't that what we've been doing all along?" The next 2 days were a blur of frantic activity. Maya and Violet worked around the clock, installing critical systems and running abbreviated tests. They had to cut corners, leaving many secondary systems incomplete, but the essential components were in place. As they worked, news spread through the station. The Advanced Technology Access Treaty had been signed. Effective immediately, humans were restricted to Level 1 technology only. Any unauthorized possession of advanced technology would be considered a criminal offense. "We're out of time," Maya said, sealing the last access panel. Her creation stood before them, a ship unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Its hull was a patchwork of different materials, its design asymmetrical and organic rather than the clean lines favored by the Union. To alien eyes, it would appear crude, almost primitive. But Maya knew better. This ship was a masterpiece of integration, a testament to human adaptability and innovation. "I've been thinking about names," Violet said, his patterns displaying a mix of pride and concern. "Given your species' mythological traditions, might I suggest Phoenix?" Maya smiled. "Phoenix Rising. Perfect." Their celebration was cut short by an alarm. Security had finally discovered the energy signatures from Cargo Bay 17. "They're coming," Violet warned, monitoring the station's systems. "Commander Vrax is leading the team personally." Maya's fingers flew over the controls, initiating the startup sequence. The Phoenix Rising hummed to life, its hybrid systems powering up in a symphony of technologies that shouldn't work together, yet did. "You need to leave now," Violet said. "I'll try to delay them." Maya hesitated. "Come with me. Once they realize you helped." "Someone needs to document what you've achieved," Violet interrupted. "The galaxy needs to know that their understanding of what's possible is limited." "Go, Maya-Chen. Show them what humans can do." The cargo bay doors began to open just as security forces arrived. Commander Vrax burst in, his weapon drawn, only to stop in shock at the sight of the ship. "What in the void is that?" he demanded. Maya stood at the Phoenix Rising's airlock, looking back at Violet one last time. "That, Commander, is the future." She sealed the airlock as security forces opened fire, but the Phoenix Rising shields, a revolutionary design combining 6 different defensive technologies, held firm. Maya strapped into the pilot's seat, her hands dancing over controls that responded to her touch with an almost organic fluidity. The ship lifted off the deck, maneuvering with impossible grace through the cargo bay doors. "All stations, this is Commander Vrax." The security chief's voice boomed over the comm system. "Unauthorized vessel departing Cargo Bay 17. Engage tractor beams and defense grid." But Maya had anticipated this. The Phoenix Rising's hybrid propulsion system engaged, creating a localized distortion field that scattered the tractor beams. The station's weapons, designed to target conventional ships, couldn't lock onto her constantly shifting energy signature. As she cleared the station, Maya saw the full might of the Galactic Union's local fleet arraying against her. 3 patrol cruisers moved to intercept, their weapons charging. "Unidentified vessel," came the transmission from the lead cruiser. "You are in violation of multiple Union protocols. Power down and prepare to be boarded." Maya's response was to engage the hyperspace drive. But instead of the standard jump procedure, the Phoenix Rising did something unprecedented. It shifted through multiple dimensional frameworks simultaneously, appearing to be in several places at once before vanishing entirely. On the station, Violet watched the sensor readings with undisguised awe. The Phoenix Rising hadn't just jumped to hyperspace. It had rewritten the rules of faster-than-light travel. Commander Vrax turned to him, all four eyes narrowing. "You knew about this." Violet's patterns shifted to defiant pride. "I knew that we were witnessing the birth of something extraordinary, something that challenges everything we thought we knew about the limits of technology." "She's a criminal," Vrax growled. "She stole restricted technology." "No," Violet corrected. "She created something new from what we discarded. She saw potential where we saw only waste. And in doing so, she's shown us the limitations of our own thinking." As security took Yilith into custody, he couldn't help but smile. The sensor logs would tell the story. A human engineer had built a ship that defied the collective wisdom of the galaxy's most advanced civilizations. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Rising streaked through hyperspace, its systems performing beyond all expectations. Maya monitored the readouts with growing confidence. Every prediction, every calculation was proving correct. The ship wasn't just functional, it was revolutionary. But she knew this was only the beginning. The Galactic Union would come after her with everything they had. They couldn't allow a human to possess technology that challenged their supremacy. Maya set a course for the frontier, for the uncharted regions where she could continue her work. As the stars streaked past, she began planning her next moves. The Phoenix Rising was proof of concept, but she had bigger dreams. Humanity had been underestimated for the last time. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you pushed a species known for its creativity and determination into a corner. The impossible geometries of her ship's design were just the beginning. Maya Chen was going to reshape the very foundations of galactic civilization, one revolutionary innovation at a time. And somewhere in the void ahead, destiny waited. Beyond their understanding. 3 months had passed since Maya's escape from orbital station Epsilon. The Phoenix Rising had become a ghost story among the frontier colonies, a ship that appeared and disappeared like a phantom, always one step ahead of the Galactic Union patrols. Maya had used the time wisely. The ship's systems had been refined, optimized, and expanded. She had made contact with other humans on the frontier, sharing her discoveries and inspiring a movement. Small workshops began appearing on remote colonies, where humans experimented with discarded alien technology, following Maya's principles of integration and adaptation. The Galactic Union, meanwhile, was in turmoil. The existence of the Phoenix Rising challenged their fundamental understanding of technology and their place in the cosmic hierarchy. Emergency sessions of the High Council were called, where representatives from the major species debated how to handle the human problem. Admiral Zorath of the Zeltharan fleet stood before the assembled council. "This human, Maya Chen, has created an abomination. Her ship violates every principle of proper engineering. It should not exist, yet it continues to evade our most advanced vessels." "Perhaps," suggested Ambassador Clith of the Thorians, his skin patterns carefully neutral, "we should consider that our principles might be incomplete." The council chamber erupted in outrage. The idea that their millennia of technological development might be flawed was unthinkable to most species. But Clith continued, "I have reviewed the sensor logs from Station Epsilon. The Phoenix Rising achieved energy efficiency levels 300% beyond our best designs. Its hyperspace capabilities operate on principles we haven't even theorized. We must ask ourselves, are we trying to capture a criminal, or are we trying to suppress a revolution in thinking?" Far from the council chambers, Maya guided the Phoenix Rising through an asteroid field in the outer rim. Her ship moved with fluid grace, its adaptive systems automatically adjusting to the chaotic environment. She had been testing the limits of her creation, pushing it further with each flight. "Incoming transmission," the ship's AI announced. Maya had built it herself, combining elements from different species' computer systems with human neural network designs. The result was an intelligence that could think in ways no pure alien system could match. The holographic display showed a familiar face, Dr. Violet, though he looked worn and tired. "Maya," he said, his pattern subdued. "I'm transmitting this through a secure Thorian diplomatic channel. You need to know what's happening." Maya listened as Violet explained the growing panic within the Galactic Union. "They're mobilizing a fleet specifically to capture you. But there's more. A faction within the Council is arguing for a different approach. They want to understand what you've created." "And you?" Maya asked. "What happened after I left?" "House arrest," Violet replied with a slight smile. "But my people are divided. Many of our younger scientists are fascinated by your work. They're beginning to question our rigid mathematical doctrines." Their conversation was interrupted by proximity alarms. 3 Union heavy cruisers dropped out of hyperspace, forming a containment triangle around the Phoenix Rising. "Maya Chen," came the broadcast from the lead ship. "By order of the Galactic Union High Council, you are commanded to surrender your vessel and submit to custody." Maya's fingers danced over her controls. "Sorry, Admiral, but I don't recognize your authority to stifle human innovation." She engaged the Phoenix Rising's unique defense systems. Instead of traditional shields, her ship generated a field that bent space-time around it, making it effectively invisible to targeting systems while still allowing her to maneuver. The Union ships opened fire, but their weapons struck empty space. The Phoenix Rising seemed to flicker in and out of existence, always just beyond their reach. "Impossible!" The Admiral's voice crackled over the comm. "No ship can phase shift while maintaining real space presence." "That's your limitation, not mine," Maya replied. She activated her offensive systems, not weapons in the traditional sense, but carefully modulated energy pulses that interfered with the Union ship's standardized systems. One by one, the cruisers found their engines failing, their weapons powering down. Maya had discovered that the Union's standardization was also their weakness. Their systems were so uniform that a targeted disruption could cascade through entire fleets. But Maya didn't press her advantage. Instead, she broadcast on all frequencies. "I'm not your enemy. I'm trying to show you that there's more to the universe than your rigid classifications allow. Humanity brings something new to the galaxy. The ability to see connections where others see only boundaries." Before the Admiral could respond, another ship dropped out of hyperspace. But this one was different. A sleek vessel of Thorian design, broadcasting diplomatic codes. "This is Ambassador Cliff," came the transmission. "Admiral Zorith, you are ordered to stand down. The High Council has reached a decision." Maya watched in surprise as the Thorian ship positioned itself between her and the disabled cruisers. "Maya Chen," Cliff continued, "I represent a coalition of species who believe your innovations deserve study, not suppression. We invite you to present your work to a special scientific assembly." It was a pivotal moment. Maya could run, continue as a fugitive, or she could face the Union and defend her vision of a more integrated future. "I accept," she said, "on one condition. The assembly must include representatives from all species, including those the Union considers primitive. Everyone deserves a voice in shaping the future." 3 weeks later, Maya stood before the largest gathering of scientists and engineers in galactic history. The Phoenix Rising sat in the center of a massive auditorium, its patchwork hull a stark contrast to the elegant vessels of the established species. "For too long," Maya began, "the galaxy has operated under the assumption that there is only one correct way to approach technology. That standardization equals advancement. But look at what we've achieved by thinking differently." She activated a holographic display showing the Phoenix Rising systems. "Every component in this ship was considered obsolete or incompatible by your standards. Yet together, they create something that surpasses your most advanced designs." The audience murmured as she demonstrated the ship's capabilities. Propulsion systems that used contradictory principles to achieve unprecedented speeds. sensors that could detect phenomena invisible to standard equipment, power systems that generated energy from the quantum foam itself. Humanity's strength, Maya continued, lies not in our technology, but in our perspective. We see possibilities where others see limitations. We find connections where others see divisions. And elderly Vulcan scientists stood. Your achievements are impressive, but they defy established physical laws. How can we trust technology we don't understand? Maya smiled. The same way humans have always progressed, by embracing the unknown. Your physical laws aren't wrong. They're just incomplete. By combining different species' understanding of the universe, we can develop a more comprehensive model of reality. The assembly lasted for days. Maya shared everything. Her techniques, her theories, her vision for a galaxy where technology evolved through integration rather than isolation. Slowly, minds began to change. The turning point came when a young Krellin engineer successfully replicated one of Maya's hybrid systems. "It works," he exclaimed, his excitement transcending species barriers. The harmonic resonance between Zulthran and Thorian components creates an entirely new energy state. Within months, the Galactic Union underwent a transformation. Research facilities began experimenting with multi-species technology integration. The rigid classification system was replaced with a more flexible framework that encouraged innovation. Maya Chen became a symbol of this new era. The Phoenix Rising was studied, its principles incorporated into a new generation of vessels that pushed the boundaries of what was possible. Standing on the observation deck of the newly constructed integration station, a facility dedicated to collaborative technological development, Maya watched as ships from dozens of species worked together on projects that would have been unthinkable a year ago. Dr. Vyleth joined her, his patterns now permanently displaying the colors of satisfied curiosity. "You changed everything," he said. Maya shook her head. "I just showed them what was already possible. Humans have always been good at seeing connections, at finding unconventional solutions. It's how we survived on Earth, and it's how we'll thrive among the stars." In the distance, a new ship emerged from the station's construction bay. It was beautiful in its asymmetry, a harmonious blend of technologies from across the galaxy. Humans and aliens worked side by side on its bridge, their different perspectives combining to create something greater than any single species could achieve alone. "What will you do now?" Vyleth asked. Maya's eyes sparkled with possibilities. Now we explore. The universe is vast, and we've only begun to understand its true potential. There are mysteries out there waiting to be solved, connections waiting to be made." She turned to her friend, her smile bright with determination. "Want to join me?" As the Phoenix Rising prepared for its next journey, Maya Chen reflected on how far they'd come. From a frustrated engineer sorting through scrap to a revolutionary who changed the course of galactic civilization, all because she dared to see potential where others saw only junk. The galaxy had learned an important lesson. Never underestimate humanity's capacity for innovation, especially when they're told something is impossible. For humans, impossible was just another word for challenge accepted. The stars beckoned, full of new mysteries to unravel and new connections to forge. Maya Chen and the Phoenix Rising were ready to answer that call, leading the galaxy into an era where the only limit was imagination itself.